shows IELTS Face-Off. Okay, so today we talk about something that has driven Vietnam mad, crazy over the past few years, I could say. Football.
You mean soccer?
I mean football, like the game with the round ball.
You mean soccer?
No, it's Football. Football.
It's soccer. S-O-C-C-E-R.
Okay, fine. So, obviously I'm a football fan. How about yourself? You know, as a female, what do you reckon about the game?
Well, the game I think is fantastic. I don't watch it.
But you know how the football fever in Vietnam has been rather crazy over the past few years. Have you been a part of it at all, or what did you think about it?
Well, I've been a part of it in the sense that I was stuck in the crowd after Vietnam won.
Is that your only impression of the game?
That's a lot of it is my impression, but I do know it's a very, very exciting game, and I know how inspirational it can be and how life-changing it can be for some people.
Absolutely, and today we're going to explore all those things and give you a proper education about a game called football instead of soccer.
Oh, come on, Mike. Let's see who the guest is.
Ta-da!
Hello, my name is Martin Lowe and I am a professional football player. From a young age I always loved the ball at my feet, and from that began my professional career in Australia. After being inspired from the under-23 national team and the love and passion of the Vietnamese fans, I decided to come and play in Vietnam, my home country.
I think we can have a really good conversation. So shall we meet our guest?
Yep, in his very first official interview in English in Vietnam ever, let me introduce to you Martin Lowe. G'day, mate.
Hey Michael, how you going?
How are we?
How are you? Have a seat.
Thank you.
Have a seat, buddy.
You have such a good handshake. The grip is just, wow. It's really strong.
That's what I learned from Australia.
That's what you learned in Australia.
Yeah.
Michael just told me that you played for one of his favorite teams in Australia. So I'm going to drop the ball and I'm going to pass the ball on to Michael and let him ask you about soccer.
Right. Football, you mean? What do you call it?
Football.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's Aussie and he calls it football too.
Well, you can call it football, but not criticize me for calling it soccer.
It's not wrong.
Right, so my favourite team is Western Sydney Wanderers. I found out recently that you actually had a gig over there as well. Why have you decided to give that up and move all the way to Vietnam for the game?
Well, I think over there I did lack opportunity to play. I signed over there when I was 17, when I had my first professional contract. But my biggest motive to come here was watching the national team and seeing football in Vietnam rise, and I really wanted to be a part of that.
Okay, so could you recall your first experience watching the Vietnamese national football team play, and what was it like for you to see that game?
I think it was emotional in a way because I never really knew much about my culture and my people, so watching them and seeing them succeed in SEA Games and in the Asian Cup, watching them do well, it really made me proud of who I am. And I've never really felt that way before, so it was really interesting to me.
So I recently found out too that you put on the Vietnamese national football team shirts on for the first time. Yeah. How did it feel? Did it fit?
Of course, it fit really well. It was surreal to me because one of my goals coming here was obviously to be a part of the national team and stuff like that. So I didn't think it would come this quick, but I'm very proud. I remember when I stepped out on the pitch, I was really proud and a bit emotional because I didn't expect it to happen so quickly.
Tell us a little bit about maybe your journey towards the national team for anybody who's young and really passionate about football. How do you get into the national team?
That's a tough question. Well, I think if you want to put it simply, you play well, you put on performances, and if you're consistent, the right people will notice. I think obviously that's with everything in life as well, in any job or work environment.
Do you have a favorite player, a Vietnamese favorite player?
I've been asked that a lot. When I first came here, the player that I knew the most was Quang Hai, and then when I came here, a lot of players were telling me about another player who they thought I would like, and his name is Tuan Anh. He plays a style that I appreciate, which is also similar to my idol, who is Andres Iniesta. I'm not sure if you guys know him.
Of course, yeah, Barcelona. So is that the player that you've modelled yourself after?
Yeah, so growing up, I watched a lot of Barcelona, and after watching them, they kind of suit the person that I am. I'm not very big, and they made the game look easy, even though they weren't physically big. You know, I think all my life I've been small, and everyone's been criticising me for being small. But yeah, I wanted to make an impact still, even though I'm smaller or not like everyone else.
Well, size doesn't always matter, does it?
No.
No, definitely not.
In a lot of things.
Yeah, and I'm small too, and you know, a lot of the times being small, it's kind of difficult for us to kind of maneuver a lot of things. I remember this instance, it was at work, and I'm trying to reach up on the shelf, and then nobody would help me, and I'd have to do it all by myself.
Yeah.
Or I'd go into a meeting and people would be like, you look really young and small. And I'm like, what does that matter? You know?
Yeah.
But for you, you know, being in such a physical environment, I'm sure you've had to maneuver and really deal with all of these things that relates to your physical
because that's
size.
obviously that's the first thing people see, you know, especially in Australia. It's pretty obvious the Australian people, they're a lot bigger than me, so you know, that's the first thing they judge me on. So it's difficult, but I've been able to handle that kind of adversity in a way, and work around it to also show my own strengths. And even though that may be a weakness of mine, I've been trying to avoid it as much as I can.
Could you tell us more about, you know, your own style of football? How would you, in 3 words, how would you describe the way you play?
Technique, awareness. I'm not sure. Small.
Well, a lot of flexibility, a lot of skills there, I can see. You're a Barca fan now, yeah?
I appreciate the way they play.
So what do you have a particular team that you go for at all?
I wouldn't say that I support someone particularly or am a big fan, but I've always liked the way Barcelona played. For me, the best to watch.
Get out of here. This is United territory.
I would say, you know, there are a lot of stereotypes, you know, associated with the sports industry, and there's also a lot of distractions, I assume, also associated with the sports industry. How do you keep yourself focused? How are you so grounded?
When I was younger, I didn't have anything, and my parents didn't have anything either. So I was always reminded that we came from nothing, so don't act like you've got everything. I always didn't like the people who were very arrogant and cocky, so I definitely didn't want to be like that. You're never at the top, and if you're at the top, there's someone underneath you trying to get what you have. So that was why I'm the way I am.
So much maturity for someone who's 5 years younger than me. Wow.
Have you gone through really, really difficult challenges in life?
I recently lost someone who was really close to me, probably like a few days ago. That was probably the most confusing time in my life, but comparing to what I just went through with everything else, I wouldn't say all the other problems I had were that big.
Now, we know you're very, very close to your family.
Yeah.
And we know your sister did something really special for you.
What was it?
Oh, let's take a look, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a video.
Is he called Tony?
Yeah, his name's Tony.
So, does he play football too?
Yeah, we actually, he played for Sydney FC and I played for Wanderers.
Oh, what a big moment.
But he hopes to come here.
Say hello. Maybe Marty, maybe you turned on the wrong one. Why aren't you saying hello?
Hello.
Well, your mom is really, really cool.
Yeah, I like my mom.
Yeah, and the fact that she lets both of her boys also pursue, you and your football career is very not so typical of a Vietnamese family.
I think my brother actually started it all because my mum wouldn't let any of us go. But my brother, he's the golden child, he convinced her, so that helped me to get away a lot easier.
You have, a lot of people are wondering about your connection with Vietnam. You know, we know you like food, and we know you like Vietnamese food.
Yeah.
What are some of the dishes that you really like? Maybe name us 4 or 5 more dishes that you really like.
Bún thịt nướng.
Bún thịt nướng, we got bún thịt nướng.
Really?
Yes.
Cơm tấm.
Cơm tấm, we got cơm tấm.
Yeah, pretty typical.
Such a southern boy.
And the bánh mì.
Bánh mì.
Yeah.
Is Vietnam what you imagined it would be before you came here to actually live and embrace the life here?
Where my family's from, it's out in the farms, out in the countryside, so it looks nothing like in here, obviously. But then when I came, so I've been here once before, and then I came back here for my football, and my first place that I went was Vin Home, so that was like, it was like Australia for me, so. See, of course, I was really surprised, but it made it easier for me to want to live here.
How are you handling the heat, and how are you handling the sun? Are you wearing sunblock every day?
We don't get sunburnt here, but it's hard to breathe. Like when I first came here, I was like, I don't think I could play here. It took me like a month for me to get used to the heat, and it was only in Saigon, it wasn't even here. Like here, it's hotter.
Did you have a bit of a culture shock at the beginning as you came here?
I would say so. Yeah, the culture is very different. The biggest shock was cars in the road. And
But on the pitch, though, with regards to your relationships with other Vietnamese players, how is getting along with the boys on the pitch in Vietnam different from getting along with the Aussie boys?
I don't think it's very different. I think in any team, everyone looks for like a brotherhood. They try and make a little family. Whereas in Australia, you go to training, you finish your work, you go home. Whereas here, it's like after training, you're with your boys. You normally go out together, have coffee, party, whatever.
Because you're a fielder, right? You know, at the centre of the field. Did you have any problems with not having enough ball time?
Yeah, I would say in the beginning it was tough for me to get a lot of the ball, and obviously because I had problems communicating.
Yeah.
Obviously that's a lot better now, but it made it difficult for me.
How did you communicate with your teammates at first? How do you call out for the ball?
I was just scream. Oi! Yeah, I'd say something, and then if they hear me, they would maybe give me the ball.
Let's open some of the questions up to the people in the audience and see if they have any questions.
Any questions, guys?
Okay, hello, Martin. So I have a questions for you. Apart from football, do you have any kinds of activities that you like to do when you have free times?
Yes, I do. I appreciate the arts. So right now I try to make little videos. I like taking photos as well, photography, and I like reading. Yeah, I try and learn as much as I can.
That's really, really beautiful. I do know that there's a lot of misconception here about people who play soccer or people who engage in the arts, right? They feel like these people don't read, or these people don't spend time to explore the different types of knowledge that's around. I love the fact that apart from training, you can still read and you can still enjoy the other beauties of life.
For me, I wanted to capture that in a memory, so I like taking photos or making videos about certain moments that I've been in. And reading, when you read, you don't think about anything else. You're just stuck on the book.
So in the beginning, you said you like take photos, videos. Do you usually post your videos anywhere, or is just you make an album for yourself only?
I have private Instagram page that I post my own photos and I can look at, but I do have a YouTube account that I post my videos on. I don't have a lot of time, but my videos are like 1 minute.
I have questions for you. So how do you feel about Vietnamese women?
I think they're very sweet and very caring people, something I've noticed.
Do you like the type of girl that have the same characteristic as your mother?
Ooh, that's a bit weird. Well, my mum's really sweet, she's very caring, so of course those are very good characteristics for anyone to have. But yeah, if that answers your question, it would be yes.
Mummy should be listening to this.
I love my mum, so.
Between Mike and I, who do you think can be a possible better teammate to you?
Well, he goes for Manchester United, so I can't be.
To be honest, at the beginning, I was a bit of a fanboy until you said Barcelona. The moment of where Barcelona slipped out of your mouth was the moment I decided that we would never ever be teammates.
I'm going to give you guys a really big challenge. In the next section of the show, the IELTS Face-Off Challenge.
Okay.
All right, IELTS Face-Off Challenge coming right up next.
You You're watching IELTS Face-Off and it's challenge time. This time it's 4 of us against 1 of him. And basically the rule of the game is to get as many juggles as possible. He gets only 1 minute and we have no time limit whatsoever. Should be easy for you, right?
Oh, I think it will be a challenge.
Right, let's get started. Don't you worry, come we watch it. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Someone counting? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
You can't cheat, Michael. Come back here. Mike, come back here.
32, 34, 35, 36, 37, 41, 42.
Oh my God.
45, 46, 49.
He's the perfection. Mike beat that, Mike. What's your number?
I got 60.
You got 60.
Yeah.
Can we do 60, guys? All right, do you think you can do at least 6?
Maybe I cannot just only one is the best.
Okay, let's do it. You can do this. Yes, go ahead, everybody.
It hits one of our team. That was 3. Go on, you can do it, buddy. 2 more.
Mike, you go first.
Ladies first.
No.
No, let's save the best for last. Okay?
Let's try this.
Can she do it twice because she's got heels?
Sure.
Yay. Come on, look.
Really good.
Right. Stop looking at me. Yeah. Hey guys.
We did not beat Martin. Thank you guys for participating, and thanks, you won, but we had a great game. So thank you very, very much. There's going to be a small little present for you at the audience. Thank you very much.
Well, it may not have been the best competition. Are we sure that we entertained you somehow?
No, I was entertained. I love being here. It's very nice.
Awesome, and we wish you the best of luck. We'll be watching you in your career, and we'll be cheering for you from home.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, even though our talk with Martin Law is just ending, but the show still goes on, we're going to take you on some of the greatest adventures here in Vietnam. So stay tuned, don't go away. Now, we always promise that we're going to have a lot of interesting things. We're going to show you beautiful Vietnam. And this is the section that we're going to see a beautiful part of Hà Giang, along with our lovely friend, Đặng Trần Tung, and our lovely friend, Quân, who's from Hà Giang. Let's take a look, shall we?
Yep, let's get the camera. Let's set the tape rolling, actually.
What's up, guys? This is Tung Đặng with IELTS On The Go. As I was saying in the previous episode, one day in Hà Giang couldn't possibly satiate my thirst for adventure. It's such a dope place, so I stay for another day and I've asked my new pal, Quân here, to show me around. And I gotta say, he does not disappoint. I mean, this is no joke. What is this place? I don't think we've been supposed to be here.
Actually, there is a keep outside, but we managed to come over here and we want to make the best of our trip.
Yeah, so I mean, could you tell us more about this location? I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah, this place is Mã Pí Lèng Park, one of the best kept secrets of Dong Văn Chiêu Park.
Yeah.
And as you can see, the view is just majestic. Located 25 kilometers from Dong Văn, there is only one route leading to the pass called the Happy Path. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? But don't let it fool you. The road is anything but happy. It's narrow, winding, and treacherous. On one side, you have a steep cliff, and on the other are the mountains. But anyone who has reached Mã Pí Lèng Pass will agree that the view is well worth the trip. It is just spectacular up there, with mountain ranges stretching as far as the eye can see. Well, this is just a tip of the iceberg. Hà Giang has so much more to offer. So check it out.
Yeah. I'll be sure to drop by next time. Guys, if you're in Ha Giang, hit him up. I mean, he's such an amazing guy. Thank you for your hospitality, your time, and everything. I had a blast. And now back to you guys on the set of IELTS Face-Off.
What spectacular views and scenery we just witnessed over there, right? You know what, Phoebe? That's actually one of the reasons why kids born overseas, growing up overseas like me and Martin, have decided to come back to Vietnam to discover our roots, to give it our very best, and to contribute and find meaning in our lives too. And I guess that could inspire some of you. If we could love Vietnam so much, why can't you?
You know, we have a lot more to show you. We're going to be exploring some of the expert opinions. We're also going to be exploring UK 101. We're also going to be talking to ambassadors. And we're also going to be looking at Voice of the Week this Saturday, exclusively on VTV7. So please don't go away. We'll talk more about our motherland shortly.